It's a bull. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea, about 78 degrees. And today's April 19th for our daily update report on Monday, the Monday morning, the start of the weekend. And my report, my thumbnail obviously says, what are you in this for? You in gold or silver for security or to get rich? And I think you can ask yourself that question for almost any investment. And depending on your age, you're more likely to take bigger risk when you're younger. And I would say take less risk as you get older, unless only risk what you can afford to lose as you get older. Because as you get older, it's more about wealth preservation. It's not about getting rich quick. When you're young, you can get away with that get rich quick kind of mentality, like you're seeing with a lot of investments nowadays. Unfortunately, what happens though is when you get people that are in their middle ages or in the later ages, these people can't afford to take big risks. You can't afford to gamble what you can't afford to lose. And a lot of people are doing that. I've seen it happen quite a bit in all different types of markets, even in gold and silver markets. We see it happen all the time. So I'm going to kind of focus on that a little bit because here, let me tell you one thing for sure. If you're buying gold, silver, coins, bars, and platinum, if you're buying precious metals to get rich, you're at the wrong place. You're watching the wrong video, and you're watching the wrong guy, and you're probably in the wrong market, more or less. Now, does that mean you can't get rich on gold, silver, and platinum? Absolutely not. That doesn't mean that. You can get quite substantially wealthy in precious metals. Not maybe bubble rich. Yeah, you can get bubble rich because we get bubbles in this market as well. You just have to be able to recognize them, and that's what I'm here to teach you to do. I'm here to teach you wealth preservation more than getting rich quick. If we can get rich quick while we're preserving our wealth, why not? But don't go to the get-rich-quick schemes, right away. And in my opinion, there's a lot of get-rich schemes out there, and they're not all bad. There's opportunity out there. I mean, get rich. You can get rich at a casino as well. So, if you want to get rich quick, I don't recommend the casino. There's probably other investment vehicles that are like a casino, have bigger upsides, but they also have big downsides. Again, never risk more than you can afford to lose. I don't care how old you are. Well, when you're younger, you can afford to lose everything because you can make it back. So I take that back. When you're younger, you can afford to take these huge gambles and these huge risks. But why? It's not really smart. A smart investor is going to take wise choices, make wise choices, especially in highly speculative assets like cryptos, unfortunately, and a lot of other assets out there, especially when people are using margins and leverage to play stocks. I mean, that's the big casino out there. That's the big legal casino in the investment world. And again, if you're playing in that world, in cryptos, as I said, you can get rich quick if you know how the game is rigged, you know how the game is played. You can get rich quick, but those kind of investments are not about wealth preservation. That's a younger man's game for the most part, and it's an older man's game that is betting money that he can afford to lose and make a lot of money. So there you go. If you're not in that position where you can afford to lose all your money or most of your money, then you need to be more in a more secure type investment and a more secure type product. And again, this is my opinion. I'm not an investment advisor or anything, but this is experience buying and selling gold and silver and precious metals for years and years. People come into me and with that get-rich look in their eyes, and I tell them you're at the wrong place. I'm here about preserving your wealth, and if we can get rich along the way, great. But again, I think gold and silver and precious metals has a 5,000-year track record of being secure. Think about it. Even at its very bottom prices, it just never went away. They can't create more of it. Only stars can create it. So buying gold and silver and precious metals is for both the young and the old. It's both for the risk adverse people that don't like to take risk and like a sure bet. It's also great for the younger people that are taking big risks and don't mind losing it all and can afford to lose it all or a good part of it because they've got enough of their life to make it back again. At a younger age, or again, the wealthy guy that has money to play with. The idea of buying gold and silver and precious metals, first in your mind should be security. It's security. It's a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against horrible governments. It's a hedge against a lot of bad things. And again, it has a 5,000-year track record I challenge anyone to tell me anything that has a track record like gold, silver, and well, let's say gold and silver as a form of money and as a form of wealth, a tangible form, one that you can actually physically hold in your hand. So if you're in gold and silver and precious metals for security first, you got the right idea. I don't care how old you are, you got the right idea. And for those youngsters and for those people making a lot of money in speculative assets, and you've got really good rich, take half of that money and stick it in gold and silver. Again, this is about wealth preservation, not about getting rich. But as I said, you can get rich in precious metals if you're buying low and you hit that bubble and you time it right. And trust me, precious metals will have a bubble as well. But the whole point of these shows is to help you recognize this stuff and help you see it and help you make the right decisions. I'm here to teach you to fish, not give you a fish. And I say that all the time. Some of you are probably sick of hearing it, but it is true. I replaced always, or I replaced another word with Sorry about that. That's a problem when you listen to yourself after you've done a recording. You notice all these things. So, and I'm no professional for sure, folks. I'm just a rare coin and a precious metal dealer that's been doing this since he was a kid. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I'm middle-aged, so I think I know my stuff by now. But as I said, I'm not an advisor, and all this stuff is my opinion and opinion-based stuff, and what I'm trying to teach you is to do all this stuff for yourself so you don't have to rely on other people. Let's take a look at ZH and what articles are out there. ZH has a couple articles. And notice they've been putting their precious metals articles at the very top, making it easy for me. So, and I'm first, before I hit these two articles right here, because I'm going to hit them real quick and just discuss them. And again, I recommend that you have zero hedge on your bookmark bar and that you're reading these articles before I even get to them. Remember what I told you about teaching you to fish? Well, if you read them before I got, if you read them already, then you're already fishing, baby. So let's take a look at this. Fed warns. Okay, not going to go into that kind of articles. I should have looked at this a little bit earlier, but I didn't go down. Stock market leverage in La La Land rise to historic what the F highs. You know me, I'm not afraid of the F word, but I'm not going to say it right now. Clover Health shares. U.S. futures dip from record as Chinese stocks soar. Well, that's because, well, I'm not going to get into that either. So let's kind of move along here and see if we can find any articles specifically talking about gold, silver, and precious metals. I really don't. A lot of political stuff here, and wow. Nothing good. That's the sad part of it. Whatever happened to good news? You just don't find it anywhere. Precious metals versus Bitcoin. So let's hit this article real quick here. Interesting article done by Rational Egoism. Great name. Your parents named you that. Anyway, I kind of like what he said here. The sexy markets are, this is what we've been talking about too. The sexy markets, which to me are the get-rich markets. I like to call sexy markets get-rich markets because get-rich markets are sexy and appealing to everyone. Everyone wants to get rich. So the sexy markets always attract the general public, traders, and hot money. Bitcoin can go to 100K US dollars, even 250K, but keep in mind the historical tulip bubble when investing in Bitcoin market. Now, I know that's a really sore spot for a lot of Bitcoin people, but there comes a time that you do get bubble territory, and I don't care if it's gold, silver, platinum, stocks, bonds, you name it. Bitcoin is not excluded from that. So when Bitcoin is in bubble territory, you risk a lot. You risk losing it all. Finally, remember, you have not made any money in a market until you actually close out the position. Beautiful statement right there. He says it exactly. So you may be riding this thing to the moon right now. However, you may be riding it back down to a smoking hole on Earth again too. So be careful out there. And to you younger guys out there that are risking money in Bitcoin and can't afford to lose it, you can't afford to lose it. My recommendation is take some of that money, take half the money that you're investing in Bitcoin, or some of it. At this point, especially since we're at such astronomically high levels at this thing, but who knows where it'll go. But still, take some of that money, invest it in something secure like precious metals. Very smart thing to do. Secure part of that wealth at least, if you made it, or you're booking some on paper. Pull some out, put it in precious metals. I don't think you'll ever regret doing that. And again, it could go up even higher, but what is security worth? Security is worth something, folks. Let's move along here. Finally, remember, when you have not made any money in the market until you close that position, I just said that. And the same thing, And the same "this time is different" mentality existed in the dot-com bubble in 2000. And you Bitcoin folks have heard it. This time is different. This time is different. Well, it's not different. That you can tell you how many people have heard that before they've got the smoking hole. But no less. And again, with precious metals, we've never really seen that smoking hole. We've seen some big crashes, some big falls, but it's never returned to zero. It never goes to dust. That's the beauty of gold, silver, and precious metals. Is as long as you're holding it in your hand, you're not holding a piece of bullshit paper. It's never going to turn to dust. Highly unlikely, and it has a track record of 5,000 years. And it's recognized globally. It's recognized in the jungles in Guyana. It's recognized in Africa. It's recognized in their most remote places on Earth by their most remote tribes. They covet it even. And your central banks, obviously, the real thing here is that the bankers that push fiat currencies on you are the ones that own a huge amount of gold too. So why would they be pushing fiat and holding on to gold themselves? Well, because gold is real money, fiat is not. So remember that, folks. And as investors watch all the newfound wealth evaporate in thin air when the market crashed, ultimately all financial markets which are in bubble territory crash. It is an investing law of nature, and that's true. That's what I just talked about. Even gold and silver and precious metals. Once they get into bubble-licious territory, they never hit the smoking hole, but they come down hard too. The smoking hole is when your investment evaporates into zero. That's like Enron, investing in Enron or investing in Bernie Madoff or investing in a fad that just bankrupts and goes to zero. Dangerous stuff, but again, you can get rich doing it, but you can lose it all as well. So it's really about wealth preservation and card players, people that play cards and poker, talking about what money management is really important in poker. Well, it's the same thing when you're investing, folks, managing your money properly. And gold, silver, and platinum are a great place to put your money, no matter how you look at it. All right, let me move into another article. Good article here, Precious Metals versus Bitcoin. I think he does a video down here too. I believe he is also a person that buys and sells gold, maybe. No less. I'll beat his prices too. So, I say that all the time, and it's true. I will. I'll beat anybody's prices out here, pretty much, if they're a legit seller. London admits silver squeeze freak out. Chinese gold bid is back. We're going to click on that article real quick. First off, I do have small issue with this article. It says London admits silver squeeze freak out. Well, at least he doesn't say at silver squeeze. Again, a lot of media and a lot of people that don't really know any better have been making the claim that the at silver squeeze on Wall Street bets was the reason silver shot up. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. It temporarily raised the market for a little bit. We did see a $3 spike because of it, but it wasn't because of the Wall Street bets. And again, I like Wall Street bets, the silver Reddit forum or whatever the heck it is, that Silver Squeeze or the Silver Squeeze Reddit forum. It's pretty cool. I think it's even cooler the fact that it's young folks learning about silver and learning about investing in silver and talking about buying physical and learning as they go. So it's a wonderful place. But to give, the mainstream media is trying to give these younger people that started these kind of Reddit forums and are on there, like, oh, look at these inexperienced people that have drove up the price of silver. And they did the same thing with Wall Street bets, with GameStop. All the media did, all media, is called Reddit people a bunch of young, unorganized or semi-organized online people that are clueless about investing, but just are all doing the same thing. Well, there may be some truth to that to some degree, but no less. The media has nothing nice to say about that. But the media, how ignorant they are, is trying to say that this silver squeeze has something to do with the Reddit forums. Again, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Nothing to do with that. All that did was elevate the market for a little bit and get it in the news, which was a good thing. So I'm thankful for the silver squeeze thing. I'm thankful for it because it did get us in the news, and that had more people investing. And reminds me of an old saying that I forget if a politician or whoever said, "I don't care what you say about me. This is about the media." You're telling the media, you can say anything about you can say anything you want about me, just spell my name right. So, and you can figure out what that means. A lot of you old timers probably know. So London admits silver squeeze freak out. Chinese gold bid is back on. Interesting article. I don't know who Mr. Janders is. Maybe he's somebody that works for SD Bullion. Oh, yeah, it's SD Bullion. And by the way, SD Bullion, if you have to buy online, is a great company. But if you're local and you live near me, I'll beat all their prices. But let's read their article here. Again, they write some good stuff here, and I like the company. Again, if I had to buy online, I'd go to them, but I always recommend you buy local. Big news broke last Friday morning. Reuters' Peter Hobson, oh God, Reuters, writing an exclusive report on revamping Chinese gold demand. Well, here's the thing, is that they had to talk about gold. You know why they had to talk about gold? Reuters has to talk about gold, and the media has to talk about gold, even though I really think they hate it. They had to talk about it because China just is set to buy $8.5 billion. Or hold on, China renews appetite for gold with $8.5 billion. $8.5 billion to buy gold. So of course they have to talk about this. As central bank relaxes quote is beautiful. China's appetite for gold, jewelry, bars, and coins has recovered as the economy rebounded in recent months. Around 150 tons of gold bullion are to be shipped by next month, May 2021. On very interesting stuff here, folks. And this is what I've been telling you. The central banks, even the Chinese central bank, who is selling their people worthless fiat, and now they're trying to sell their people worthless worthless cryptocurrency, which has a lot of draconian measures behind it. They can track it, they can take it away from you. But the Chinese government, which I can't stand, the CCP, I think they're terrible. I think they're probably one of the... But anyway, I won't go into that. I don't have any respect for communists, socialists, and Marxists, trust me. Socialists a little bit, but communist, Marxist, none at all. And that is a truly communist regime there. And what they're doing is they're going to create a cashless society. But what are they doing as well? They're buying gold. They're buying gold to back up their party. They're buying gold to back up their wealth, their elite themselves. Meanwhile, they're pawning their people off onto cryptocurrencies and fiat. But that's all governments do that. All governments, including the CCP, do as I say, not what I do. So let me move along from here. I like the idea that China is buying huge amounts of gold. Why are they buying huge amounts of gold? Because they know the value of gold, as do all other central banks. I moved out of there a little too quick. Let's see. Well, I think those are just the two articles we're going to talk about today. Again, take a look at Zero Hedge. A lot of cool stuff in here. And let's go to... that's it for that article. Where is gata.org? There we are. Let's look at the gata.org articles here. And again, this has to be, if you don't put ZH on your bookmarks bar, at least put gata.org on your bookmarks bar, because these are the guys that are going to teach you how the game is played, how it's rigged, how it's manipulated, who does it, and this is important stuff for you to know if you're going to win at the precious metals game. And quite frankly, you really don't need to necessarily win at the precious metals game, because you're going to win just buying it as long as you're not paying too much. Long-term, medium long-term, metals are going to go off the charts for sure. So any dummy can make money in precious metals today as long as he doesn't pay too much and as long as he sticks it away for a length of time. However, when you get frustrated with gold and silver because it's not doing anything, it's going down, this is the reason that you need to know all the stuff I'm teaching you. So when you do get frustrated, you go back to your basic points, your set points. Your set points are, it's been around for 5,000 years. And I'm going to act like I'm talking to myself. Brian, it's been around for 5,000 years, and it's also has a historic track record, and it doesn't dissolve or rust. So, and it's not made out of paper. So those are your points that you remind yourself about, so you don't get frustrated owning gold, silver, and precious metals, because it can be frustrating at times, especially when you're in a world where you're watching people say they're getting rich off cryptos or something. But folks, this is just a distraction. There's always get-rich schemes out there. Again, you can play them. It's great. This is capitalism. This is what it's all about. And if you make money, fucking fantastic. Excuse my language. If you're a crypto and cryptos and you made a fortune, fantastic. But wealth preservation is where it's at. Money management, wealth preservation. So if you made it, try to store some of it away. And again, my whole reasoning, gold, silver, and platinum, best place to do it. That's my opinion. GATA.org, a couple good articles in here. California is going to open a big mine, which surprises the hell out of me since they hate anything to do with industry. Biden shows he will wield U.S. financial... Here, I've been talking about for a year why one of the reasons why the dollar is failing, and one of the reasons, Bretton Woods agreement, Nixon taking us off, ignoring the Bretton Woods Agreement, violating the Bretton Woods Agreement before 1970s, and then 72, Nixon takes us off the gold standard. Then after that, the U.S. politicians and the Department of Justice start to weaponize the U.S. dollar, use it against people that we don't like. And what did that cause? What would that cause? Well, that caused everybody to say, well, screw the dollar. We're going to create our own systems. So that's where we're at today. That's why the dollar is falling and will continue to fall. We are the longest lasting fiat currency in history, but it won't last it. They're going to have to do something. Biden shows he too will wield the U.S. financial system as a foreign policy weapon. And again, he's not talking about the U.S. financial system. He's talking about the dollar. He's going to cut people out of the dollar market completely, cut people out of our markets completely. Weaponizing the dollar is frickin' stupid. I don't care if you're red, blue, or whatever party you're in. It's stupid. No less, our politicians have done it for years. Remember what I said? Do as I say, not as I do. That's your politicians in D.C., both parties. Again, interesting article, just kind of confirms what I've been saying for a long time, is that weaponizing the dollar is the downfall of the dollar too. Part of the downfall of the dollar. U.S. rigs gold to defend dollar and control interest rates. Remember what I told you about gata.org, this site right here, telling you how the game is rigged, who rigs it, and how it's done? Well, here you go. Good article to read. I'm not going to read it to you. I'm not even going to click it, but you need to read this. gata.org tells how the U.S. rigs the dollar. And I've been saying for a long time, and so has a lot of people, that it's not just these corporations, not just JP. That's the easy go-to for a lot of people that don't know what's going on, really. Oh, JP rigs the markets, man. That's the problem. No, they're not just the people rigging them. There's a lot of people out there doing it, and the biggest is probably the governments. And you want to learn how and why? Here, read the article. Let's see, U.S. gold, U.S. rig, blah, blah, help, question, blah, blah, blah. Try to remember where you put your gold since you can't take it with you. This was pretty funny. Look at this. Apparently, where is it? Let me see if I can find the link to it. No, there it is, the Guardian right there. We'll take a look at this article. French official perplexed by gold bars and coins found stashed in old house. 600,000 euro in gold. Look at this. Was found in the walls, buried inside a house in France. Well, you know, the article says, you know, try to, good idea to remember where you hide your gold and silver and precious metals. But think about this, folks. That gold and silver has probably been hidden for how many years before, and nobody found it until recently. So this is what I talk about. It's easy to hide precious metals. There's $500,000 in gold that you could probably stuck in a little tiny hole in a wall somewhere, and nobody would have found, obviously, like they did here, until they started tearing the stuff apart. So precious metals is easy to hide from anybody. Just don't forget where you put it. A good article again. Love gata.org. They got a lot of different stuff here. I'm going to move on to yesterday's video. I'm going to answer a few questions here. Friday's video. Look at that shot. I went out this week too and caught a couple fish, headed south, but beautiful, beautiful day on the water yesterday. Let's take a look at my video. Was Bitcoin banned metals are up, and boy, it takes some time to think of good thumbnails for YouTube. That's hard to do, man. Think of a thumbnail that'll grab attention but be true, because what I don't want to do is I hate those thumbnails that you click on it and it has nothing to do with the video. But again, you wouldn't believe how difficult it is to come up with these thumbnails sometimes. It takes me longer to do that than run the show, which is unedited, unscripted. The only thing I script is the stupid thumbnails, and it takes me longer than the show. So, hey, let me read some of these comments here today. And again, I'm getting so many comments, folks. I got to apologize if I start skipping. I thought it was a great idea, but apparently my viewers are getting a little larger. It was all fun. It was like a dozen guys I could just talk to every day. But again, it's I'm going to have to pick these questions a little bit more carefully. And forgive me if I don't answer to you. I do apologize. Aquarius Moonstone says, new stacker here, having fun educating myself, looking for deals. Britannia is my favorite. Well, is your Britannians your favorite? And I've seen a few people out there who love these Britannia silver coins and gold coins, and I like it. But again, one thing I do want to point out, if you're paying more than $5 an ounce, you're probably paying too much, because there's other products under a $5 an ounce premium on silver that are a better deal. But meanwhile, if you're getting it for a good deal and you're happy, hey, that's great. And it's a great way to store silver too. Rick Hayes says, I cannot fathom anyone selling for their gold for Bitcoin in a hyperinflation environment. Rick, I guess my show explains how and why, and people might think about doing that. Let me go to a couple here. Positive things. This is suspicious. Please consider an interview video with YouTube person. Hey, Savoy, thanks for bringing that up. Please consider an interview video with YouTube personality Salivate Metals. That would be very interesting. Sal has been stacking for ages and has great insight. I actually saw one of Sal's video. It popped up in my feed, and Salivate Metals. And you know what? I love this guy. He's got great enthusiasm. He loves the business. You know what I mean? I wish I had a guy like this working for me. Excuse me. I don't know what he does, but I love the enthusiasm, and he loves precious metals. He loves doing his videos. He has, you know what I mean, and his commenters, you can tell that people like him. But yeah, I have seen one of his videos. Actually, I've seen two of them. They popped up in my things, and I like his format. And again, what I love about it is his enthusiasm, and it seems like he's trying to teach people as well. So I got lots of good things to say about the gentleman. As far as interview videos, you know, I don't even know how to turn on this machine, much less do an interview on video. So it'll be a while before I get there, Savoy. But I did see two of them, and I was very impressed with his enthusiasm, and he puts his heart into it. David Hauser says the real game is played not in daily spot price, but the financial banking industry. Currency and debt are so massive the system will fail. Yeah, Dave, that's true. Physical precious metals are kryptonite to the banking system. Damn, I like that. That is absolutely correct. Precious metals are kryptonite. Remember, central bankers, banking system, they push fiat on us. They push us into all these financial instruments, and most of them are safe. You know, most of them are conservative to some degree. They're not pushing us into the get-rich schemes, but they push it into the. Meanwhile, what do they hold? They hold precious metals. Why is that? Thanks for watching, Dave. Scuttlebutt is Bitcoin is CIA. I have read that before, Linda. I'm not sure if that's true. What are these, by the way, folks? I keep deleting these little things that say 0.34 bomb today. Is that like a little spam or something? But it doesn't say anything pertinent, so I do delete them. Hey, Zai, what's happening? No problem. The update, but do we have to pay plenty of silver here in Dubai, but we have to pay over $50 per ounce? That's interesting. Is that because in Dubai they get a bigger, heavier premium? I don't know. But if you get back in the States, I'll hook you up, sir. Jigsaw Jazz says, thanks for the show. You become a daily watch for me. Hey, that's nice. Nice to hear. I hope that there's something beneficial coming out of these shows other than me just filling up your ears with noise. I hope you're learning something as well. And thanks for watching and saying that, Jigsaw Jazz. Super Genius says, if you listen to Peter Schiff, you sat out 10 years of roaring stock market gains. That is not, actually, that is like a paragraph that I've heard people on CNBC say. It's not original, that comment right there, Super Genius. The fact is Peter came out years ago and made a comment about being the market being in a bubble, and he felt that was in a bubble. And Peter Schiff's biggest sin was putting a time frame on it. You know what, Super Genius? He's absolutely correct. Since 2012, and you're right, we are missing out on big gains, and you have missed out on big gains. You got to learn how to read this stuff, but for the most part, we're still in a bubble, sir. We've been in a bubble since 2012. So Peter Schiff nailed it. He's absolutely correct. Peter Schiff's biggest problem is he put a time stamp on it. Well, I think it's going to crash in 2016 or 2000. He said that at one time in CNBC, and a lot of other haters that don't like Peter Schiff because he does speak the truth about the U.S. dollar, he does speak the truth about government, and he speaks the truth about precious metals. They were able to grab on to the fact that Peter set a time frame on it, and they've been nailing him ever since. And you see this right here. If you listen to Peter Schiff, you sat out 10 years of roaring. You did not create that comment. That comment was said on CNBC, sir. You're just parroting what they said. And again, what I've always said is be original, think for yourself, and before you believe that, Mr. Super Genius, read into Peter Schiff a little bit. He's a very intelligent man. Again, he made the one comment saying at one time that the market was going to bust at this time, and he was incorrect. But the truth is, since 2012, every year, I'm surprised the entire economy and the market doesn't take a giant shit. I'm just waiting for it. And have I missed out on 10 years in gains in that market? Yeah, probably, but I've made it back in precious metals, so I'm kind of relaxed. And you know what I like about precious metals, too, unlike the stock market and the equities market and the cryptos market, is that I still have my wealth in my hands. It can't just evaporate. The paper just doesn't evaporate or turn to dust. Anyway, thanks for watching, Super. I appreciate it. I really advise you take a look at more of Peter Schiff's stuff and see where this comment and this belief of yours right here came from. It wasn't from you, sir. It was from someone else. Ron Mueller says, hit the dips in metal, bite the bullet regarding the premiums, keep stacking long and hard. Absolutely true. Thanks for watching, sir. Dave, thanks for watching. Great video. Can I purchase from you directly online? No, special inspector. Unfortunately, I don't do any online business. I'm a local business only. I only sell locally. I will beat all the online, not all of them. I will beat the three big ones: SD Bullion, JM Bullion, and AppMex. I will beat all their prices online. And if you're going to buy from any company online, I think those are the three biggies that have a good reputation. You will get your metal. No less, I will beat their prices. And, my suggestion, too, is I think it's highly likely if you try to shop local in your own town. If you don't have a shop in your town, go to somewhere in the county. If there's nothing in the county, drive an hour. State, keep that money in your state. Keep it with your local dealers. And most of the time, they can beat the online big sellers. And as far as the other sellers online, don't recommend them because, who knows how long they're going to be around for. Those are three sellers that I would recommend if you have to buy online. And as I said, I always say I will beat their prices. Victor Frankenstein, pretty cool. Bitcoin, don't trust it, don't own it, never will. Love gold and silver. Me too, sir. Man, I got so many comments here. I don't think I can get through all these, man. I'm going to have to actually start looking at comments before I go on here and pick a few out. Because, again, comment section is getting so large. Newer comment, governments are basically just big cartels. I agree, Ninja. This has never been so obvious. It's the same thing gangs would do to stomp out rival gangs. It's true. Oh, on a base level, it's very true. American Henkoi, the Treasury can bypass the Fed. Not going to happen unless there's a second civil war. Well, I think that there's two things we're going to see happen. That the Treasury will probably not bypass the Fed until there is a second civil war. Will there be a second civil war? No. There's not going to be a civil war. Civil war means that we're fighting against ourselves and that you're fighting brother against brother. That's absolutely ridiculous. Governments are creating that. Media creates that fight, left against right, blue against red. It's bullshit. The real revolution will be when the people take back our federal government and we do it hand in hand. That's the real revolution. Jen, I tell you, I agree with you 100%. He is a good writer for sure. Mark Hasley, agree with the vast majority of what you said in this video. Great attempt in keeping us informed. Thank you for watching, sir. Let's see. Physical is the key. Paper is exactly that. Again, I'm going to have to kind of read over some of these before I start commenting. But wow, look at all the comments. Thank you, folks. I appreciate this. Actually means people are actually watching me. So, wow. Hey, I'm going to do a little bit better in answering your comments in the future here. And to all the folks that have been watching me for quite some time here, I appreciate it. A couple of you guys have been with me for a long time. Dumb things you see, so have you, sir. Thanks for watching. Anana Mouse. Bitcoin is transparent, so your country bans it, and the powers that will be know you use it. Can't track gold and silver. Well, that's very true. Think about that farmhouse or that house that had $500,000 worth of gold in it. Nobody found that for, 100 years? So, true. Well, I'm going to get out of comments again. I do apologize. Baraka Flake of Flame says that the beginning of the coin bouncing around almost made me kill myself. This is the second person I heard that doesn't like this noise. Here, let me see. That noise right there. I guess there's like a small percentage of people that silver rolling around on a table just hits them the wrong way. My apology. Maybe it was a bit loud. Hey, make a comment down below and I'll answer. If my coin spinning is too loud, I'll tone it down some. So don't want to annoy you guys. I want you to learn, not get annoyed. That's really about it. Again, I'm going to be a little more careful on answering comments here because, God, this section is getting larger. I'll pick out some questions that are pertinent and try to answer some others too. Well, meanwhile, let's move into spot prices. We're down a little bit from Friday's prices. Sorry about that. Let me do a quick update, but back up a little bit to where we were. Gold sitting at 1773, the range overnight, 1790 the high. Oh, jeepers. Wow, we did hit a high of 17.9. Well, folks, I think we're at a new level with precious metals right now, at least for this quarter. Let's see what happens. But we may be on our way back up again. It's looking like that. It's holding levels. So, again, if you were waiting for the dip to buy, try to buy on the dips. But, if you don't buy on the dips, don't frickin' panic about it. Gold is still a great price. Under $2,000 is still a great deal. Probably under $2,500 is a great deal. It's all relative to time, as I talked about earlier. Silver looks like it hit 26.24. Nice. In a range of 25.69. I'm looking at this right here, folks. overnight. So we are above that 26 mark. We're sitting about 28, 25.84 right now. Silver did take a big up last week, which again, like a dollar leg up. Silver, when it moves big sometimes. Platinum above 1,200, should be above 1,300. Gold should be above 2,500. Silver should be above 35, 40 bucks an ounce. They all should be, and they will be. Believe me on this. Again, it's all a matter of time. And unlike Peter Schiff, I'm not going to give you a specific time frame on this, because that's how you actually get, you can be a zero or hero when you start putting time frames and you start trying to predict the future. And most of the times you're going to be a big zero. So it's hard to pick these times specifically. I can't tell you, like, at the end of the year, gold's going to be $5,000. Bullshit. But I can tell you it will be $5,000. I just can't tell you when. Let's move along to best deals out there. Best deals for gold and silver and coins and bars is 90% still the best deal out there. You can pick it up for under a $5 an ounce premium. I think we have it for like $4. You can get it a little cheaper if you buy huge quantities of it. So spot plus $4, so you can buy this stuff. It's made by the same people that make U.S. Silver Eagles that you have to pay 9 to 15 over for. So the U.S. Mint makes this stuff. They made this stuff in the past. Still good, still great, made by the U.S. Mint. And they make the new stuff, which is almost, what is it, $6 to $12, $6 to $8 more per ounce than this. Well, guess what I'm going to buy? I'm going to buy 90%. I don't care how pretty gold and silver eagles are. 90% is still a much better deal right now. And again, if you can get any other products, for less than a $5 premium per ounce, you're doing good. Gold, same way. Gold bars still the best deal out there. You can buy gold bars for under $100 an ounce premium. Do it. Don't be buying Maple Leafs and Eagles and all those other Britannias and stuff if you're going to be paying $120 to $200 premium for them. It's not worth it, folks. There's better deals out there. I don't care that a bar is square and ugly and not as pretty as an eagle. Who cares? This is a way of squirreling money away. Security. You're not wearing it. You're not hanging it on your wall. So buy the cheapest form you can. Oh, boy, long show. I feel good, though. I hope you do, too, folks, and I hope you had a good weekend. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Call me anytime between 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays at 954-493-8811. If you have any questions about precious metals, remember, I deal only locally. You have to come in to see me to buy and sell and do business with me. I don't do anything online or on the phone. So if you don't live near me and you can't come in to buy gold and silver from me, I urge you not to buy online unless you have to. And if you have to, the three companies are the ones that I believe are trustworthy. But again, try to buy it local. Try and ask your local dealers if they can beat SD bullion, JM bullion, and APMEX bullion prices. And if you can buy locally and they can beat or meet those prices, and even if it's a little bit more, keep that money local, folks. That local money circulates back into your community, unlike when you're shipping your money out of state. And my recommendation is to do the same with tires, jewelry, whatever it is you may buy. Keep the money local, even if it costs you a little bit more. It's worth it in the long run for our communities. Hey, again, thanks for watching. If anything crazy happens today, I'll do another show. If not, I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day, and see you soon.